Hello. Hello there. Hello there. Check, check. Live. Coming at you. I'm going to play a little Stratego today, as usual, on one of my various accounts. Let's get right into it. Not doing too badly today. Started out with 2 losses right off the bat, but I've won 5 since, so, you know. But I still am in the low silver vicinity on this account. Hopefully I can get that up a little bit to the mid at least. You know, I'd be happy if I could get this account to silver captain by the end of the day. But we'll see. That we will. Anybody present? Okay, we got some silver players online. I always like to check up on the stats of the silver players that are online. And we got a game. Ooh, okay. So we have a silver colonel with a little under 50% win-loss ratio. See what we can do. Okay, load my setup. Make a few adjustments. Bomb off my flag. I know I like the idea of this bomb structure better than I like the bomb structure itself. I've been lottoed like 6 times now after my opponent finds all 3 of these bombs, so it's a little flawed. I should probably have something guarding the scout, guarding the leftmost bomb of this wedge, other than a scout. Some kind of activity going on outside. I want to check that out real fast. Excuse me. Nothing special, just a little tiff between 2 motorists. Alright, so let's see. Well, what can I adjust here? Maybe I'll move this sergeant over by this bomb over here. Yeah, alright. And we'll get directly into it. Okay. See if my friend is communicating with me right now. Fiend. You there, Fiend? I will admit that one of the wins that I got was one whereby the player didn't even... It was a buffer rundown, so... Alright, so lately I've been just going up immediately with the captain on the left side. Okay, are we back on? We're back on? Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Okay, so he's coming down the middle. I'm expecting a centralized blitzer. It seems like that's what's strongly indicated here. Captain. Okay, I think I'm gonna retreat with this scout, retreat with this captain, and then come up for that captain with this. Okay, let's scout this piece in front. 4? Okay, so this piece is weak. Okay. Okay, so that's lieutenant, so that's fine. Okay, so he's going to be getting the sense that this is my strong side. So this right here is probably I would think that this is going to be the general that's coming down right now. Okay, so we have moved pieces here. Okay, let's stall over here with the miner. See if we can't get a fix on what this piece is. Alright. It's probably a bluff of sorts. And I just lost track of his major. Not great. Okay, so let's see what we have going on the right side. So he has 3 of my scouts right now, which is not entirely ideal, but it's not as bad a start as I've ever encountered. Okay, scout here. I think I'm going to take that lieutenant with my major. Gotta try to keep track of these pieces that are moving in the middle. Okay, so I can remember that one right there. So we have an L shape right here, and then everything right here is moved. Okay, everything right here is moved. Everything behind the lake over here is moved. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what to expect over here. He's really concentrating his strength on the left side now. Okay, take that. See what we can't discover about his setup. Nothing. Alright. Everything behind the lake is moving. Gotta remember that. Okay, so he has 4 of my scouts now. Just let my friend know that I'm doing a stream. Okay. So I'm up 2 lieutenants, which is good for the price of 3 scouts. Let's see what we have doing in the middle. I said I was going to see what we have doing in the middle, but I decided instead to support this miner up here. Okay. So it looks like he's coming back to concentrate on the center a little bit. I think I'm going to utilize this sergeant to check this piece over here. I expect to find a bomb sooner or later. Okay, so I think we're going to get a fix on some valuable pieces right about now. Six. Okay, so I got him to scout my 6. I do have to be careful on this side though, because it's getting a little clustered here. He knows my colonel. There was a major somewhere in there, but I've lost track of it. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if he attacked down now. Okay, so everything in here has moved, and then everything over here has moved, and then we have 3 right here. I try to remember the negative space. Major. Okay. So I don't really have anything on this side to... Okay, so what is he coming down with? I don't really know what any of these pieces are because he's been... Okay, so we'll use this. Should I use the miner or should I use the... Okay, so obviously come down with the colonel. Okay, so we got the general right here in the middle. So if he's coming down with something like the marshal, then we have a counterattack in place. Okay, so we'll move down with the colonel. Move to the right with the miner. Want to know what that piece is. He's debating whether or not to take with this piece, which means it's probably... Okay, a 5. Alright, so that's not what I was expecting, but that's fine. Okay, so he probably thinks that this is my strong side, so now I'll come up with my 5. Okay. Okay, so that's the major. Okay, so now I'm down to 5, I'm down to sergeant, and I'm down to minor. Okay, so we know a 4 and a 5, and I'm pretty sure that this is a good piece right here. So let's get this colonel out. So I'm not loving the position of this colonel right now. I mean, this colonel over here on the right. Okay, make like we're trapping this piece. Okay, so he's telling me that the piece behind the major is something good. Maybe it would be worthwhile to scout it. Okay, make like this is a good piece and he's going to trade. This is probably like a scout. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm getting my scouts back, which is good. See what we have in the middle here. 5, okay. Not unorthodox. Okay, so what do we have? I'm losing track of pieces. Okay, so this I believe was the 5. And I believe the 4 just relocated over here or over here. This is really bad. I have to keep track of pieces if I wanna win games like this. Okay. I think that this is the weak side over here, but that doesn't guarantee that I can just go in with something like a colonel and attack things, because you never know where the marshal could be positioned. So I guess defensive is the way to go. Okay. I think I'm going to check this piece. Colonel, I'm glad I did. Okay. Hopefully enough. I think this is just a scout right here. Okay. So that was a nice acquisition. So now I'm up 3 lieutenants. I'm down 1 captain. But 3 lieutenants will beat 1 captain. So if I can trade some captains, then I'm not in a bad position. So we got the colonel right here. We got the captain right here, and I can't remember what became of the major. It's one of these two. I'm like fairly certain of that. I think it's this one, and I think this is either the marsh or the general, or the spy. It's marsh, general, or spy. This one right here, and I believe this is a scout. This is probably the major right here. Okay, so we'll come out with this scout. Okay, so this is the piece that I thought was good earlier. Okay, let's come back over here with this general. I'm sorry, with this colonel. Alright, so what's the damage here? This is the piece that he's saying is good. This is the colonel. Colonel's right here. Can I go in with the general in the middle? Okay, well this obviously isn't the marshal. This is the major. This has got to be the major. Okay. This piece is moved, and now this is moved. Okay, so I'm letting my buffer run down an awful lot. Do I risk my gen? This right here is a scout, if I've ever seen one. Okay, so now he's positioning his colonel behind this good piece. So I can't get this piece. I can't get this piece. So I guess it's time. I think he has his general and his marshal now concentrated over here in this vicinity. So I think I'm good to go on the right with my colonel. Okay, so this right here is a colonel. This right here is a major. This right here is, I believe, a scout. Colonel. Gotta remember that. Gotta remember that, colonel. This is maybe something good. Colonel, major, like marshal or something. Ugh, this guy. Okay, colonel. He's probably gonna move. Okay. Does he have a pocket general or something over here? This is my question. Colonel. Remember that colonel. You gotta remember that colonel. I think I'm gonna go for this captain. Marshal. Okay. So that's good. That's really good. So I think that confirms that his general is somewhere in this vicinity. So this is the colonel right here. Okay, marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel. Sorry, I have to do that sometimes. Marshal, marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel, marshal, marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel. Marshal Colonel, Marshal Colonel. This is like the 2 or the spy. So Marshal Colonel, all this is moved. Marshal Colonel, Marshal. Did I just fuck up? Marshal Colonel, Marshal Colonel. Ah, that's frustrating. Marshal Colonel. Maybe Jen right here. Marshal. Marshal Colonel. Marshal Colonel. So he's guarding that colonel. Okay, let's see if we can't bait out another scout. Marshal Colonel. Okay, there's the colonel. Okay, so now he's saying that this is the spy right here. Okay, so this has got to be the spy. Because this is the marshal, this is the colonel. Marshal, colonel. Okay. Okay, so I'm down. So let's move this back again. Marshal, colonel, marshal, colonel. All this is moved. Colonel, marshal, spy. Oh, okay. So then this is the colonel. Okay, that's the colonel. This is the marshal. Colonel, marshal. Okay. So I can go in here and take pretty much everything. Okay. So let's come back after that with the lieutenant. So this is I'm pretty sure this is the colonel. Okay, and we can get a fix on this too, which is probably the general, I guess, now that he's... Okay, colonel. Okay, colonel. Marshal, colonel. General? Major. Oh, okay, so there's the major. Okay, so... Let me see what to do. What to do. Okay. So he's protecting this piece right here with this. Marshall, Marshall Colonel, Marshall Colonel, Marshall Colonel, Marshall Major, Marshall Major. Colonel's one of these two. Okay, so the Colonel is one of these two. Okay, so this has got to be the spy. Right here is the spy. Marshall. Marshall Colonel. Oh, Jesus, Marshall Major. Marshall Major. Okay, and this is a silly piece. Marshall. Okay, so this is the Marshall. This is the Marshall. Oh, I can't remember which is the Marshall. I think this is the Marshall. He's really shuffling a lot. Oh, which one was the Marshall? Oh, this is so bad. Major, Major. Okay, so that's good. So we do know the Major, I believe. Well, all these have moved. One of these is the Marshall. One of these is the Marshall. This is like a... This is probably the General. I should probably just check it. I think it's the General. It's just a... so silly. Okay. Scout. Which is good. Okay, so now he's coming after my captain, and my general is lying in wait. Then my friend is calling me again. Okay, so all these pieces have moved in here, and I don't remember which is which. This is so bad. This is really bad. Okay. All these have moved. And one of them is the Marshal, one of them is the Colonel, and I don't remember which is which, so that's really terrible. Okay, so this piece is a scouter, like, for sure. Actually, he has two colonels. I keep forgetting that he has two colonels. Okay, so we got a minor. What is he guarding it with? Colonel. Okay, so he took with the colonel, which means that this right here is the general. I think that that's the Marshal. Major. Okay. So I got a Major back, which is good. Is that the Marshall? That could be the Marshall. Okay, so this is a good piece right here. One of these two is the Marshall. Okay, so what is my advantage right now? Ugh. Okay, so he scouted my marsh. It's not good. Major. I can't keep track of what's what. I think this is the general, and I don't know the whereabouts of his marshal anymore, which is so bad. He just shuffled around like a lunatic. I guess I gotta trade down. So what is my advantage is going to be a lieutenant and a major. I don't see that I have any other options here because I can't remember anything. Okay, we know that all of this is moved. Most everything is moved, really. This hasn't moved. These two pieces have moved. Is this the marshal right here? Okay, so I guess that's the marshal. Okay, so that's the marshal right there. So we have the lieutenant advantage, and we have one scout. One scout, and I can't really use anything else. So this has got to be the marshal right here. Okay, I can't remember which is which. I just have to do 50-50. So would he come with the marshal after, or did he start with the marshal? That's the question. He is a silver colonel. The entire balance of the game hangs on this decision, and I'm really upset that I didn't keep better track earlier in the game. Okay. One of these likewise could be the spy, so he could be trying to bait me over. Okay, so it looks like I might have to lose a captain. Okay, so that's his gen. So this is his marsh right here. Okay. And his spy is all but certainly lurking somewhere in the various pieces that have moved. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to get the marshal up. clog this lane. Okay, and get tempo. Major. I think. Okay, so I'm going to assume that the spy is right here. Okay. Minor, Jesus, that's all I got for that? That is so shitty. Okay. That is really too bad. Okay. So, taking stock of everything right now, I am definitely not in a great position. I am up a major. He's up the colonel, but he's also up a captain. I'm up a lieutenant. Alright. So, let's see what we can do. So, the marshal originated right here, which means that I think he has a corner flag. Alright. Let's bring my spy out. This is probably the other colonel right here. And I can't really afford anything to scout. Okay, so this is going to be his spy. Okay, so we're trading marshals. Okay. So this is probably his colonel, and this is his major. Colonel. Okay, so he has one major remaining. It's right here, and I think this is the other colonel. So I can still win this game, but it's going to be a little difficult because I'm also trying to provide commentary. Let's see if we can't pull something off, though. Oh, he's also up a sergeant. This is not good. Okay, so this is the spy, right? Okay, so that was a bad decision on his part, because... No, I'm going to go in for the lotto. Okay, so I don't know whether this is the colonel. I can't use a sergeant, I have to use a minor to determine whether this is the colonel or not. So I think this is a logical place to go for the lotto, right here, because I think he has a corner flag. So what is he coming after my spy with? Okay. Is this a minor? Okay, that's a minor. Okay. We know that this is... We know that this is the spy right here. Okay, Sergeant. I know this is just a spy. Okay, so this isn't great. It really wouldn't take much for him to just capture my flag at this point. I should have recognized that that was a miner that was coming in. I think this might be one of his captains right here. Let's take stock of what we have here. We're up a lieutenant, we're down a sergeant, we're up a minor, but I have an open flag now. And we're down one captain, but we're up 2 majors. Okay. Okay, I need to wrap around with this minor. Okay, he's coming in for the trade. Hope that's not a captain. Please don't be a captain. Fuck. Okay, I have to lotto, so I'm going to do that. Okay, minor, that's good. Okay, let's go right for that flag. That is assuming it is, in fact, the flag, which... It's probably just a bombed-in sergeant or something. It really very well may be the flag. He may have just made a rudimentary mistake. I doubt it, though, because I think it's probably just a bombed-in sergeant. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. Alright. So, what to do? Okay, so, bombed-in sergeant. Do I have one of his bombs in the bank? Yes, I have one of his bombs in the bank. So these are the 5 remaining bombs. So one of these is a bombed-in piece. It's probably another bombed-in sergeant. This is going to be his last captain. Okay, there's not much I can do. I shouldn't have come in with the captain immediately. Okay, so we traded one captain. This is probably the other one right here, which means that I can go to work with my sergeants. I'm sorry, with my... I don't believe that this is his captain right here. This is probably a minor. Or, I'm sorry, this is a known sergeant. Okay, so he's going to be checking this with his sergeant. So this is dicey. He's got he's got my major pinned. Not that it would mean very much, even if it were unpinned at this point. I believe he has the advantage on pieces, or maybe he doesn't. I think I may have more pieces than he does. So let's make him think that this is my other lieutenant. Trade. So we're at a bit of an impasse here. Okay, obviously move up with lieutenant. Okay, so he's got my last minor dead to rights. Okay, I got his last minor, but it doesn't matter because I need a minor in order to... Okay. Yeah, this is bad. That's the first place he's going to check, is in between these two bombs, because he unwedged it. There's really nothing I can do. I should have gotten my major over there. He guessed rightly. Okay, there's nothing I can do. This game is at a conclusion. Yeah, it was a hard fought game. I'm not unhappy with the way that I played. I'm just a little frustrated that I lost track of his marshal. Yeah, so... Okay, so he's coming into trap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run around the lake. He's going to capture these last two pieces. Oh, he can't capture my major, but he's going to capture my lieutenant. And there's nada I can do about it. I also messed up back there. I allowed him to capture my lieutenant. Not that I can even do anything with my lieutenant. So this has turned into an interesting game. and he's going to have to make a decision. And I think his first decision is going to go for that is to go for that wedge. Yeah, he has no reason not to attack that spot. Would like to tell him good game, but the chat is a piece of shit. Go ahead, take the flag. Okay, so I got myself trapped. So I clearly don't know enough about the mechanics of this game. I got to get myself behind the lake. So I put myself into a bind there. I'm not exactly sure how the end game mechanics work. I'm really not very strong in it, obviously. But we're 2 pieces to 2 pieces, and he's got the higher pieces on both counts. Okay, I move down with my major. He's going to move down with his colonel. Right. Yep. Okay. Untrap my major for a moment, but as long as he can keep moving his captain, then there's nothing I can do. He moves his captain. 1. All he has to do is move his captain, and he's fine. And that's it. Alright, I'll probably play one more. See if I can't get a better result. So now I'm 5-3 today. One of which should have an asterisk because I didn't actually do anything. Okay, so we'll just get right back into another one. Okay, Silver Lieutenant. Alright, let's go back with that standard setup. Watching, no watch, no watchy. That's fine. Here, this might be a fast game. I'm really not feeling entirely up to it. Okay. Okay, let's this time try it the way that I had it before, with this bizarre bomb structure that might fool someone, hopefully. So, lately I've had an affinity for just moving up on this left flank with the captain. Capture a scout. That's fine. See what he's coming down with. Probably a captain. Oh, okay, sergeant. It's respectable. Okay. You got me in the 2 square. Okay, so let's probe the middle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, negative space right here. And my computer is on the verge of dying, so okay, let's go ahead and protect this. Let's protect this bomb. Okay, so he's coming out with something unidentified. Probably like a sergeant or something. That's what I might do. He's actually coming to check this piece that just came from behind the lake. Alright. If he comes down one further, I'm going to attack. Yes, I am. Sergeant, okay. I had a nice little read there. That was good. Okay, move over. Can we get another scout off? Good. Okay, so we'll leave that captain there. And I don't think I'm going to take with Colonel because I've been burned in that fashion before. Okay, let's move up with Major. Captain, okay. No immediate surprise there. Yeah, people do that. I don't know how I'm supposed to predict that. People do it. I just said doo-doo. Did you hear that? Okay, so let's probe on the right. So captain, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, captain right there. Okay, what is this piece? I'm not scared of this piece. Oh, is this the sergeant? Yeah, this is the sergeant. Okay, we'll come up with this lieutenant. He's gonna move back one more. Duh. So now he's coming in with something over here. Protect you with minor. Move back down with scout. Okay, so we have an L formation right here. We know that this is the sergeant. This is the captain. Thus far, that is fairly all we know. I suppose my next move is going to be to scout here and see if this is an attackable piece for my sergeant. A little buddy over here with his rapier or whatever that sword is called. He's really given this some good old contemplation. What are you going to do? If you're going to do something, I advise that you do it. I suppose I'm not really one to talk. I let my buffer run down fairly egregiously. Pretty egregiously. I keep saying fairly. Disregard. Anybody watching? One watching, probably me. Okay, so next move, scout. Scout. Okay, so I'm up 2 scouts. It's not bad. Back out with this lieutenant. Okay. So what does he have in store for me over here? 1. Okay. He's not letting me do that. Maybe I can get a scout off on this piece. Probably just a Probably just a major. Ooh. Very nice. Obviously move away with my minor. Okay, so we got the Marshall. That's good. And figure out what this piece is. 6? Okay. It's whatever. It's not good, it's not bad. So we got the Marshal, we got a Lieutenant, we got a 5, and we got a Sergeant. Okay, we got the L formation right here. His Marshal came from right here, I believe. It was one of these two. Yeah, one of those two. Okay. So he has the cap advantage, but I have Marshal info advantage, which is good. It's very good. I think now is time to trade captains. So I can... Okay, get these puppies off the board. Make like I'm coming in hot with something hot. Okay. Major, Lieutenant. I'm sorry, Marshal, Lieutenant. Marshal, Lieutenant, and I gotta get some information. This is where I fall down on my face a little bit. I don't know how to get information out of my opponent very well, very effectively. I mean, this should be a done deal. If I were a better player, knowing the Marshal is conclusive. Please don't scout down. Great, okay. Scout my scout. So he's not concerned with this sergeant, which is telling me that he has a major or something lying in wait. Should I just go ahead and confirm that? Yeah, I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I mean, this game is more fun when you just take pieces. Quite frankly. Okay, so we have Marshal info, and we have a loot, and that's all we have. And we have a giant L shape right here, kind of a giant arc right here of moved pieces. Okay, so Marshal, Lieutenant. We'll move up with Colonel. Okay, so this is a loot coming in over here. Okay, I am down a captain. Okay. This piece might actually be good, and he's just submitting to a refusal to take it because he doesn't think a lieutenant is good enough for him. Fair enough. So we have Marshal. We need a plan for counterattack. So we have the Marshal over here. So is he going to be one of the majority of players that has his general allocated on the opposite side? Okay, so he knows that this isn't my... Okay, we'll move this back over just to confuse. See if we can't get a scout off. Move piece, Marshal, Lieutenant. And he's clogging this right here. So could this be his general? It could be his gen right there. Okay, move back down with my... Okay. I need to have something to protect that miner. So he's coming back around with his marsh. So we'll Okay, so I'm going to have to attack something with this, move over like that. Okay, so he can't take me. I've got the 2 squares on him. Okay. Okay, 1, 2 moved pieces right here. If I take with my captain, is he just gonna come barreling down? Okay, so what's that right there? Okay. I can get it right now. Okay, so he doesn't want me necessarily to know what that piece is. Hope I didn't just dislodge something that can come and give my lieutenant a hard time. Okay, so we're up a lieutenant and 2 sergeants for a captain. It's not all that bad. Okay. Let's move my... Oh, here comes something else from behind the lake. So we have 1, 2... Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This hasn't moved. This is the only... These are the only 2 pieces in the front row that have not moved. Okay. Okay, so what is he coming in with? Okay, so this is from behind the lake. Okay. A lieutenant may be worth whatever this is, but it's impossible to say. Okay. At this point. All right. Okay, if he comes down one more, I'm taking with... Okay, but he knows that this is not the spy, so I have to be careful. Boy, games in the silver level are challenging. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I mean, I'm trying my very hardest here mentally, and I'm not like a complete intellectual slouch, so I can tell you this game is pretty challenging. There's probably something I'm not doing here, which could bust the game wide open. So far, from what I can tell, he's the kind of player that comes in with lower pieces to check and then surprises you explosively with something high, i.e. the Marshal. Get these socks off. My feet perspire and actually make them colder. Come on, buddies. Somebody come and watch. Okay, these are the only 2 pieces on the front row that have not moved. Right here we have something of a Z shape, which is unfolding. And he's letting his buffer run down something severe. I think this is something good, and he's worried that this is the Marshal. I think this is something. This is, this may be, this may be a, Colonel. Okay. Create something in an escape lane over here. So what is he thinking about my setup? What does he think I'm doing? He's very afraid that this is my spy, I can tell you that right now. Okay, so I bet I can take, move back with my sergeant. Okay, cool, another sergeant. Another sergeant in the books. All of my sergeants are... Okay, let's move over with Marshal. Okay, so we know the whereabouts of his Marshal. Okay, so what is he coming with right now? I think this could be a Colonel right here. Okay. So we got our spy guarding over here. Move back down with this. Marshal. If he takes down, I'm going to be shocked. Okay. Okay, so he only has one... He only has one scout remaining. Okay, so obviously I can take this piece. Probably just trying to get a scout out. Okay, is that a captain? Is that what that is? We'll leave that right there because I think that might be a back row captain. And then if he moves up one more, I'm taking down, and he may be coming in with this piece over here to trap. Marsh. Okay, take down. Minor. Okay, major. Okay, so we got a major. I'm trying to memorize this pattern here. This is difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This has not moved. Everything in the front row has moved. Everything. Okay, so we're up 2 sergeants for a captain. Boy, this game is really an exercise in patience. If I'm lucky, he might run his buffer entirely down. I take those. I don't care. A win is a win, especially after exerting all this mental effort. Okay, so we got a major. Okay, let's treat this like a good piece now. Which means that he's probably going to come over to guard with this. Which I think is the general. I do think that's the general. And I think that... What is he doing? Let's see what he does. Okay, Marshal. I think this is like a colonel. I think this is the gen. Okay. So this is a major right here. I think this is the general right here. This is not a moving piece as far as I'm aware. Okay, so Major, General, Colonel, Marshal. Okay, we did get a bomb out of the equation, so this is probably a sergeant. Oh, minor. Good. Alright. Okay, he's moving back out with that major. And I want to know what that is. Okay, so all the good stuff seems to be consolidated to this side, and you may have a pocket colonel in here somewhere on the right. So we got the Marshal. What in Sam Hill just happened to that major? Okay. Well, I guess, reasonably speaking, I can just go after this cluster here now with my general. I don't know why, because he's got, like, moved pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is the general right here. Marshal. Obvi. Everything in the front row is moved. Got to remember that. This piece hasn't moved. Moved. I think these 4 pieces have moved. And he's really giving this a good amount of contemplation. A good amount of thought, I should say. I've been using the word contemplate entirely too much lately. Oh. I am on it. Okay, so that major, if nothing is done with it, is going to be mine. I hope this isn't the last remaining scout. He had better move back. Nope. Okay. Okay, so that's too bad. I was hoping for something a little bit better than that. But even still, I am up 2 sergeants and a lieutenant. So, you know, all things considered, that's not terrible. I thought that was the major. I guess I got turned around a little bit. Okay, so now I know I can come with my colonel. Actually, better yet, I might want to excavate my marshal. Okay, looks like we're going on this side. Make sure this isn't a colonel. 6, okay. Okay, so I guess I'll bluff my marshal as the spy. No, I don't want to do that. I want to. What do I want to do? I guess I'll go in with Colonel. What I'll do is I'll go after this lieutenant with my spy. Okay. So his scout is out there somewhere. I am inclined to believe that it's more likely to be over here than over here. So I'll go up 1 more. And then I'll leave that spy right there. Okay. So now I need to crawl out with Okay, so this one is the marshal, right? And this one is an unknown entity. I'm hoping that this piece is something like... this could be the major right here. I'm so poor at remembering what's what. Okay. Start closing in with this kernel. He may have just made a mistake. I think he did. Oh, okay, so that's a kernel. Okay, so then I think we have his spy right here. Yeah, this is going to be the spy. Okay. Spy right here, okay. Okay, one kernel down. Move to the center with Marsh. He's only got one scout remaining. Good, okay. So now he's going to be disinclined to come down with his marshal. Okay, so this is going to be his spy right here. I'm fairly certain of that. Bring out Colonel. Okay. Okay, so we got his marshal right here. This might be his other colonel right here. This, I mean, back row colonel, not likely. I mean, the metagame has been leaning in favor of doing outrageous things like that. But, you know, it could be. You never know. Could just be a scouting piece, too. So we got marshal. I believe this is the spy right here. Okay, he has too many scouting pieces for me to come in with that spy. This could be his last scout right here. Okay. So I need to protect my marshal spy. I'm hoping that he's coming over with the colonel right here. He moves one more over. Okay. Okay, let's move over with this major. I don't know if I should take with cap or not. I don't want to be down 2 caps. And where that came from, it really just doesn't seem logical that it would be anything other than a low piece. But he's also running out of low pieces. I'm going to let it ride. Good. Minor. Okay, so he got my spy. But now I can, well, let's see, what's the situation here? Okay. Okay, so that's a good trade for me. I wonder if he's a proponent of believing that having the high piece on the board is better. Okay, take. So now I'm up 3 lieutenants, which is great. I can't recall if this piece over here has moved. I don't think it has. Okay. So, what do we do now? Bring up this sergeant. I believe this is a major. I think that's what we're looking at here. Should I sack the sergeant to find out? Okay, so that piece has moved. Okay. Let's see. Oh, are you still there? Okay. Okay. Where is that colonel? Okay, I need to use my sergeant to... I'm really so bad at this game. I just, I'm so bad at protecting. I think this is major. Okay. So that's really bad. I just made a huge mistake. Okay, so we found the major. This is the colonel. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I can go after this piece. Okay, major. Okay, so he has 2 captains on the board, and I have 4 lieutenants. So he can trap everything, but... Okay. Okay, he has to remove that. It's nice that I have one remaining scout. Okay. Okay. No, yeah, this is the piece that I want. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so this was bullshit. Alright, this right here is bullshit. So he has 2 caps on me. I have... Okay. So, what to do here, what to do. This is going to be one of his captains right here. So these are 2 of his 3 captains. I can't believe I allowed him to get that. I think we have 2 bombs right here. Okay. Okay. So this is going to be a cap. This is going to be a cap. And I'm not sure what this is. Okay, so he has 2 caps remaining. Alright, so I think we gotta have a bomb right here, and then I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I mean, I have a lot of pieces on him. Okay, so this is like a cap. This is not a captain. Or this is not a captain. Otherwise, he would have just gone for it. This is not a captain. I think this is just a sergeant. Oh, no. This is the piece that was over here. So this is a good piece. Okay. Pretty sure this is going to be Um, this one right here I don't think is a good piece. I don't think this is a captain. It is a captain. Okay. Okay. So we got one cap, so we had to sack a Louis in order to get that information. Okay, is this a cap, though? Is this a cap? Where are the caps? Okay, so we know that this isn't a cap. Oh my god, I haven't been talking for like a half an hour. I'm sorry. Hey, how you doing? My bad. Um, okay, so he's coming over with his. Oh no. Okay. Okay, so let's see. What do I have to do here? I have to take this piece right here. I mean, he's in a bit of a predicament because I believe I'm closer to. Uh-oh. He has one scout remaining. I forgot about that. Okay. Oh, I forgot he had his spy as well. Oh. Okay. Do I still have any opportunity here to win this game? Bring 2 miners over to the left. Right, okay. Okay, I gotta block that scout. Okay, and I can't trade miners. Okay. I believe this is a draw. I don't see what either player can do. So we got bomb. Yeah, I mean, this is fairly locked up. Okay, I think, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yes, that's too bad. Ah, so close. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting game. Yeah. Got to get this scout out of the picture. Okay, here comes the scout. He's just walking the scout up. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just lost 2, bringing my total to 5 and 4 today. So, I had a positive record. Sorry, my friend. I have to do some Christmas shopping. Alright. Well, thanks for stopping by, though. I really appreciate that. Maybe we can play a friendly next time. Okay. Okay, well, I'll think about that next time, or I'll review what you said here. But I gotta get off. My girlfriend's called me like 6 times. All right. Well, thanks a lot, man.